Hello, how is everybody? Let me go live on Instagram, or at least I'm going to try to. Give me 1 second. How are you? How do I do that? It's always a headache here to go live on Instagram, but I know that some people actually prefer this. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. I need to do this first. How is everybody? Okay, I'm almost there. Sorry. I should have done this earlier. I forgot. Okay, save. I don't know why Mark Zuckerberg doesn't make it easier for people. Okay. Let me say hi to everyone. Mhm. BTS 7 plus 1, Leia, Lucy in the Sky, Robin Carr, Seda, Reg, A Brown, Darren, Carla Girl, Cindy, um, Linax, Fire Butterfly, Reg, Angel Star, Gemini, Arlene, Sinri, Christy. I'm going to discuss this issue, like this person that goes into the like properties and places of BTS members. I'm gonna ask one thing right now that I beg you follow, please. I don't usually ask you to do things, but this time I'm going to ask you to do it. So I hope that you understand why I'm asking you to do it. Do not mention any of the members, the members' name, BTS members' name. Don't mention it. Don't mention any of their name. Don't mention BTS when you're talking about them. Never ever mention those two things together. Okay. So we're going to refer to that person as that person who's doing damage. For example, for that person who went inside the property of Jungkook, you just call her that person, and then Jungkook. But if you're going to name her, for example, or anybody who's getting associated with BTS, then it's just one of the two. You either mention that person or you mention BTS, never together. But I'll discuss it. Okay. Rachel, Eliz, Christy, I hope I'm making sense, but if I am not making sense, I will in a bit. Let me just say hi to everybody. Angel Star, Eliz, Rachel, Googie, Pia, J Lau, Lucy in the Sky, Taryn, Audrey from Sydney, TLT, Crystal, Angels to OSP, Consuelo, Kathy, Gray, Linax, Celeste, Pia, MLB, Lorena, who's on Twitch. Fire Butterfly is also on Twitch. Miranda, Kez, Melva, AGL, Lucy in the Sky, Periwinkle is also on Twitch. Lorena is also on Twitch. Whoa, there's more people going on Twitch now. Ophelia, Bang Luna, Evie, Leia, Kugi also on Twitch, Halina. Hmm, I have a cut. Where did I get this? Um, Rani, Amy, Salmart, Fire Butterfly, Gray, Otter, Sylvia, Leia, BTS 7 plus 1, Periwinkle, Ophelia, Cindy, Miranda. Okay, if I'm skipping you, it's because I think I already said hi to you. If I haven't, apologize. My apology. Darren Pau, Maritza, Cherise, Senri, Juveline, Nokubonga. What is that name? I mean, where does it originate? Amy, Melissa, Reg, Elizar, A. Brown, periwinkle, BTS paved the way. Raquel. Okay. Okay, we need to keep reminding newer armies about how to shut this stuff down. Don't engage, block positive stuff. It's only going to get worse. BTS paved the way. Okay. So obviously, when there is like an actual physical harm, that's a different type of thing, right? Um, so I mean that's definitely worse. It doesn't mean that we are going to treat it any different online. What I'm just saying is that let me wear a headband. Is that do I look better now? I look like a monster. Okay. Fairlane, you said that nonsense would heat up as the comeback gets near, and boy, were you right. Yeah. So first is something more serious, right? So this person who and this I've mentioned to you guys that when it is a crime, I'm just going to call it for what it is, right? So this is not just like a simple thing. This is stalking. She went into the physical home. Not like this is not like an online thing. She went inside the house of Jungkook, and uh as you know, Jungkook was actually talked about it on his live stream. He said that there was this person who actually managed to get inside his garage. And the thing is that the only reason he was able to keep that person from going inside his house is that he didn't open it because he controls everything. He has like a central control from inside the house, probably has a control, like a thing that he can push or whatever when he's outside. But the bottom line is that he controls everything, and that's why he was able to keep the person out. Okay. So this is a different thing, and this is an actual criminal act, right? Because she went inside his house. That's his private property. Okay. So and that this is their space. So this is a different thing. She could have caused Jungkook actual harm. Okay. So unfortunately, the police said because she didn't make it inside, it's not actually intrusion. It's not breaking and entering because she wasn't able to enter because Jungkook was able to get inside his house, which I think is a crappy reasoning because he was inside. As far as we understood, as far as how Jungkook said it, she actually made it inside the garage. It's just that he did not open the garage door. That's why she couldn't make it in. So anyway, the police said that the girl left the country. She's apparently from China, and so she's not a threat anymore. So it wasn't clear whether or not she actually has like a criminal record to keep her from coming into to Korea. I certainly would hope so because that what she did is not a joke. Going into somebody's space, regardless of your intention, if you are unwelcome, is breaking and entering, and that's a criminal act. So, but unfortunately, that was the decision of the police to just let her go. She left the country anyway. It wasn't breaking and entering. So she wasn't able to enter. So it's not breaking and entering. Now, legally, I understand what they are saying. It's like I find funny. Like, um, if, for example, a person shoots somebody and that person happens to already be dead, you can't that person cannot be convicted of murder because he did not murder the other person. He was already dead. Something like that. But a technicality. The same way about slander. If somebody slanders somebody, but it did not cause, like if someone says something bad about someone, but it did not cause the other person any sort of harm, like economic harm. In fact, he became popular. For example, the person that is being slandered, then it cannot be considered slander because th- there was no damage done. So something like that applied to this thing because she wasn't able to enter the house. It's not breaking and entering. However, okay, so that of course is a much more serious thing. They're going inside the spaces of the celebrities, right? Okay. So I certainly hope that there is some sort of a um, like a criminal record at the very least. I hope she was booked. I hope there is whatever. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean um, that because it is something else and it's not just online bullying or whatever, and I'm in no way minimizing the impact of of online bullying. But it doesn't mean that we're going to treat it any other way online, because the effect remains the same. If you associate somebody with the name of any of the BTS members or any celebrity for that matter, effectively you're transferring the value of the brand of the BTS members to that other person. Okay. I'm sure we in the last 4 or 6 live streams, I've been talking about the brand value of BTS in relation to Fashion Week. And you've seen the brand value of each member. For V, it was 6.5 million per post, according to Lefty. I hope you remember that. For Jin, it was about 5.1 million, I think, according to, I want to say, launch metrics. It was either launch metric or inclusive. For Jungkook, it was was it 31.5 or something like that, according to launch metrics. And then for Jimin, it was 33.5, I want to say, or 40 or 35.1 or something, but he certainly was the highest in Paris Fashion Week, according to launch metric and inclusive. So that's their brand value. Remember, for Jungkook, he didn't even post, and that was already his brand value. For Jimin, he posted but once, and then the other members, BTS members, it was either for V it was twice, for Jin it was twice, I believe, and also for RM. So imagine every post that they make, that is the worth to a brand. For a brand to achieve the same impact as they did with one post or two posts at most, they're going to have to spend 6.5 million, 31.5 million, 33 million, 17 million. That's the amount of money they need to spend to equal the impact of BTS members' post. Okay? So, when you associate a name to any of the BTS members, and I hope people will get this in their head, you associate a name in any way, shape, or form to any BTS member, in essence, you're allowing that person to benefit from the brand power of BTS, whether it is a ship name, whether it is someone that you hate, whether it's because you're trying to combat or correct a misinformation, it doesn't change the fact that you are not really transferring, but you're using the brand value of the BTS member that you're supposedly defending to the other person. So if you want the other person or the other party or that ship name to not be associated and not get any attention, the only way you can do that is by never ever associating their name to any BTS member. Okay, I understand people want to correct misinformation. They want to call attention to the wrong things that are being done to BTS members. For example, we definitely want to call attention to what happened to Jungkook. That is real danger. There is a way to do that without having to associate the name of the person to a BTS member. Okay, I'll be a little bit more blunt. A lot of fandoms like associating the name of their favorite girl group member to the name of a BTS member, because they know it's going to enrage armies. So we're going to fight back, and so that's going to get their bias's name higher in the search. And who's doing that? It's not them, because they're smaller. There's no other fandom as big as armies. And so we are the ones that are doing that. Whenever we say it's not true, Yoongi is not dating this person, J-Hope is not dating this other person. I know that it's still us because we're the ones mentioning the name. Okay. So stop mentioning their name. And especially stop mentioning their name in the same post or in the same context as BTS members. I don't know how else I can explain it, especially after what the Fashion Week metrics have already shown. Let's get it in our heads how powerful these BTS members are. Get it in our heads. I remember reading an interview of the mother of Beyonce. I'm sure everybody here knows who Beyonce is. And she was asked why Beyonce does not get into any kind of feud with other celebrities. Other celebrities get into feuds, right? And Beyonce does not. And I thought that her answer was so elegant. And she said that at a very young age, they already taught Beyonce her own value. And the parents, told Beyonce that your brain is premium space. So don't let anybody live in your head rent free because that's premium space. So ignore everybody else and just focus on how you're going to elevate yourself. If others are doing well, wish them well, support them, but don't pay attention to them, don't mention them because they're just going to leech on the value of your brand. BTS members do that. That's why they rarely, if at all, address any kind of controversy because they know the minute they mention the name of the other person, they legitimize it. And I wish armies would do the same. I wish that we know the value of armies. When we address someone, when we mention somebody else, we're legitimizing them because there is no other fandom who's as powerful as armies. Okay. I hope we can get that in everybody's head. You block, you mute, you block, and you don't pay attention at all. You hype the posts of BTS members, praising BTS members, talking about the quality of their music, interpreting their music, and then we move on. Okay. And actually, I really, yeah, now that, so I actually really love that answer of Tina Knowles. I do think that we should all apply that in our lives, that we should think that our headspace is actually premium space and that we shouldn't allow anybody to live there rent free. You just concentrate on what you're doing and you don't care about everything else. And partly in the early days of me doing YouTube, I used to respond to hate posts and hate comments, and I stopped doing it primarily because I realized it's really a waste of time. I would rather respond to people that are supporting me, asking for clarification, asking for more details about the video, because that means that they're into what I am talking about in the video. They may not agree, but at least they are thinking about it. Okay. So, learning from the fashion week, it's all about word association. Always remember that. So, mention a word or a name together with the BTS members or any of the members with BTS or the members, and the other party will leech on the popularity of BTS. The moment their name is mentioned side by side BTS, their name gets legitimized. Okay. So that is the reason BTS members themselves don't mention anybody else. It's all about word association. Mention their name, they become real. And you're fusing, you're allowing those people to use the brand power of BTS. Okay. So, if you want to combat misinformation, you bury the rumor. That's the only thing you can do. really that is effective, because those people won't stop. Don't ever delude yourself into thinking that if you ignore them, they're going to stop. They won't stop. It's just that their efforts won't hold weight, but they're not going to stop. Essentially, people who are too busy looking for faults on somebody else, looking to destroy the reputation of anybody else. Most of the time, for example, let's just say John Smith has a fan who's a huge fan of John Smith, and they think that John Smith should be more popular than Jungkook. No, and then they start going after Jungkook. The truth is that they're not a fan of John Smith. They just hate him more. And they're just using John Smith as a reason to hate Jungkook. Because there really is no reason for anybody who doesn't know Jungkook to hate him, right? Because you don't know him. So you need a reason to hate him. And so you're going to latch on to anybody else. And so you see John Smith, you think that he should be more popular than Jungkook. Then you go and say that I hate him because John Smith is not getting the same opportunity as Jungkook. Okay, so the only thing that you can do is bury the rumor. And how do you do that? By hyping positive posts about BTS members, Jungkook, Jimin, V, Suga, Jin, RM, J-Hope. Okay. Or you post about them yourself. And it really doesn't matter whether you have one follower or 1 million followers. Just post about them, because at the end of the day, the algorithm is going to read it and they'll know, oh, there are 1 million people posting about Jungkook or whoever. If now I understand you want to correct misinformation, I get it. If you are going to post about the other person, associate that person with someone else or something else, not with BTS. I hope you're going to get what I'm going to say. Okay. So, for example, what are they doing? Let's say the name, this is not the real name of the person. We don't know the real name of the person who intruded in Jungkook's home. But let's say that that person's name is Jane Smith. Okay. Let's just call her Jane Smith. So if you want to address this complaint about Jane Smith, or if this Jane Smith or if another Jane Smith claims that she is the ex-girlfriend of Jungkook or the girlfriend of Jungkook, or they used to live together, whatever they want to say. If you want to correct that misinformation, you associate Jane Smith with another word, not with Jungkook. Okay. You associate her with lying, spreading false information. You specifically mention that she's making claims, unfounded claims, spreading rumors, lies, encourage other people to report to the right channel in Big Hit, but don't mention her name with Jungkook. It's all about association. If her name gets associated with the crime that she's actually doing, let's say, oh, this person is she entered the house trespassing. So the goal, because that's what she did, that girl that entered Jungkook's house, what she did is trespassing. The goal is to associate her name with trespassing, not with Jungkook. So keep on posting about her trespassing, lying, um, stalking, because those are the things that she really did. Be careful not to lie and not to bully and not to call her any other name. Don't call her ugly, fat, stupid, whatever. Don't call her any name that would degrade her other than what she actually did. Be factual. That's not a legal advice, that's just a human advice. Stick to the action, forget about insult. You may want to insult the person, fight it, because if number one, that can get you into legal trouble, especially if your profile is public. Okay. So do you get it? Okay, so there you go. So BTS 7+1 said she's assassin. You can associate her name with being assassin. So Jane Smith is assassin. That's not her name, by the way. And I apologize to anybody who's named Jane Smith. As you know, that's just like a common name that we use in the US to address to call people that we don't know the name of. Okay, so you associate her with sassing. I'll associate her, if it was my choice, I'll associate her with a trespasser, stalking, because that's what she did. She was stalking Jungkook. She's a trespasser. She broke and entered. That was breaking and entering. She actually made it inside the garage. Okay. Yes, forever associate the accused with the crime, not with the BTS member. Okay. All right. So now there is this other person. So let's just remember, do not bully. You can get into legal trouble for that. So be factual. Be factual. And if you want to be safe, then make sure that you consult a lawyer, because I'm not providing you legal advice. So, okay. So always remember that. Okay. But there is that better than this is burying what they're doing and just raising posts and talking points that favor your favorite artist. Okay. So there is this other person that is going into who ships another couple, and they think that a BTS member is a threat to their ship. Okay. So they went into the cafe associated to one BTS member, and they're doing a live stream. They're leaving notes saying that, oh, this BTS member should be with this other person, leaving pictures that have been photoshopped, AI'd, so that the BTS member looks like they're together or whatever. Okay, I'm going to show you her picture because she did a live stream. No one has told me yet her name. I don't really investigate. Um, I'm going to show you her face simply because she was doing a live stream. So she actually showed her face. So okay. So I'm not doxing her. This is her showing her face, doing a live stream from the cafe. Okay? All right. That's her. She was doing a live stream on TikTok. I think she has several accounts. And then she started going inactive because the, fans were just distributing her faces all around. So she was going there and she was saying that, and she said that I'm going to go here to this cafe every day, and I'm going to make sure that their picture is seen by everybody. I'm going to leave a note. So now some fans as you know, it's because it's a popular cafe. So many BTS fans are actually going to this place, and they are finding what she's leaving behind and tearing it apart and replacing it with good messages and good pictures and flowers and other things. Okay. So if people learns of what her handle is, so other fans are trying to find out what her handle is, the best thing to do is to not mention the names of the celebrities and just concentrate on her and what she's doing. Don't call her names. Just talk about what she's doing. That is it. The other thing is that, and many BTS fans, they're already doing this. So they're asking anybody who goes to the cafe to approach one of the staff members and tell them what she's actually doing, because it is a private business. Do not mention any BTS names. Please don't mention them. I'm trying my very best not to mention. Please don't mention them. Okay. So many fans are already spreading the information that if anybody's going to go to the cafe, approach the staff members, hand them the picture of this person, and tell them what she's trying to do. Let them deal with it. The cafe is a private property. They can say no to anybody. They have the right to turn away customers. Okay. So leave it at that. Do not associate her or anybody's name to the name of any member. because one post of that member is worth $35 million. You mention any other name, you're giving them a portion of that $35 million. Is she in the US? I don't know really. I don't know. I want her banned from the cafe. Me too. So many of the fans are already trying their best to spread the information so that if anybody is going to go to the cafe, they can just hand a picture to the staff member and they can deal with it. Again, they can say no to any customer because it's a private business. It's not a public property. So it's better to deal with that. And some are already trying to get somebody to report her to the police. The thing is that it's a little sketchy because she's not really harming anybody there. She's just spreading false information. So that is the only thing that you can complain about. She's spreading false information, but she's not harming anybody. It's not like she's harassing anybody there physically. So you can't call her names. Just concentrate on what she's doing. Associate her with what she's doing. And I feel comfortable putting her face because she doesn't mind putting her face out there. I wouldn't have done it if she's hiding because doxing is illegal. But she did it to herself. So there you go. The acid, no, that's another person. I think she's Colombian or from such a South American country. She is, and their friends were talking in Spanish. So she probably is. There's another one. So this is a group of shippers who are very obsessed with the other ship. Okay. So, but I'm not saying that everybody who wants those two together are deranged. I'm just saying that this person together with her group, they are deranged. Now, there may be other shippers that are just shippers. Okay. So after her, another person went the next day to the cafe to do the same thing. Is it defamation? It could be defamation. Um, it could be defamation. The best thing to do is to just go to the police. The best thing to do is inform the staff members, and then they will deal with it. And then they can go to the police, and the police will actually be the ones to determine what they're going to do. Um, if she is a foreigner, meaning she doesn't have any kind of visa in South Korea other than a visit visa, then she can't just do things like this. Report to Hybe. A lot of people have already been reporting to Hybe. Isn't false information already harassment? I don't want to. These are legal questions, so I can't answer. I'm sorry. um, yeah, false information. Maybe it could be that. It's just best to tell the staff members, and then if you can go to the police, that's the best thing. So yeah, I don't know the legal terminologies for things like this, but that is the best way. But this is all now I'm going to remove her face on the screen. The All BTS members are very close to each other. We know that at some point, they slip and they talk about two members or three members going out together without the other members. So they're all very close, and we know that. Number two, it is really none of our business to examine what kind of relationships they have with each other or with other people. That is their personal life. Whatever they want to do, it's really none of our business. And that has always been my stance when there are rumors, dating rumors, blah blah blah. It's it doesn't matter if it is real or not because it is none of our business. So whether or not they dated, it's none of our business. We shouldn't even be reacting. It's really none of our business. It's as simple as that. Okay. So uh I hope that we learn to respect it. And that is also the reason why we shouldn't even pay attention. So if anybody says like, "Oh, this person is dating this person," so what? It's really none of our business. They can date whoever they want, right? So but however, this is the negative side, and we all know this. This is the negative side of people that don't have a life, and second, who are within their bubble, because whatever idea they have, it gets nurtured by that bubble. Now, they belong to the same group who feel so strongly about the ship. Now, this is what happens. It spills in out of their heads and into their physical life. It's kind of sad, right? That they have no life for them to do this. You go to Korea, you spend so much money going there and time, and this is what you do. Instead of just enjoying the sight of Korea, maybe going on a BTS tour and just going into the different places they've been in, the cafe, the restaurant, their old dormitory that is now a cafe, going into stations. This is what you do. Isn't that so sad? If I'm going to spend thousands of dollars to buy a plane ticket to a place, I'm gonna make sure that I'm every minute of it, I'm enjoying and learning about the history of the place and enjoying the sights. And this is what they do. Also, dating can be between friends. Yeah, I mean, it's really none of our business. Like, for example, this is an example. When Jungkook went into the live stream of Mingyu, right? We all know that they are friends because they've been seen together and all of those stuff. And then I've already explained how the dynamics of male to male relationship and friendship in South Korea is different, primarily because of their history. But then when Jungkook said, "Hey, I love you, bro," and that is such a common thing for them to say in South Korea, for two men to say, "Hey, I love you, bro." And also, one of the reasons I really love Zane Lowe, the reporter from Apple Music, the one who does a podcast and interviews celebrities. When he interviews his friends, male friends, that's how he would usually end. Even if it is another male, he would actually say the words like, "Hey, man, I love you," and even to his female friends. And I thought that's a good thing to normalize, because male are, as many men are so, like, they can't express how they feel, and he's normalizing it. Like, now whenever I hear him say it, it doesn't sound weird as it used to be anymore, because I'm so used to him hearing it. I'm so used to Korean celebrities that are males that would say it to each other. And so when Jungkook said to Mingyu, "I love you, man, so and I'll see you later," or something like that, it was a normal thing. And then the shippers are like, "Oh, you see, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "No, it's just normal for them. They do that all the time." Um, Fairlyn, I want to watch her live. How do I find it? I don't want to put it here. Once you're in my Patreon, right? Once the fans send it to me, I'll send it to you. We even say "I love you, brother" here in the US. These people just exaggerate everything. Yeah, and that's why, like, if you watch the interview of, because this one's very telling. If you watch the interview of Zane Lowe, he interviewed Cordis. So it was just a short interview, like less than 13 minutes, I think. And then during the interview, they called Tiso Touchdown, because Cortis collaborated with Tiso Touchdown. And so he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna call them. I'm gonna call Tiso." So he called Tiso and they were talking and, exchanged a few words. And then when they were about to say goodbye, and they seemed to be very close, because Tiso was like, "Oh, you still have my number. Like, he didn't erase my number." And I was like, "Why would I erase your number?" Anyway, after they hanged up, or before they hanged up, when they were saying goodbye, Zane Lowe said to Tiso Touchdown, "Oh, okay, bye, man. I love you." And Tiso was like, "I love you too, brother. I'll see you later." And I thought, like, that's such a normal thing. And it feels so good that they're able to do it now, because they used to not be able to do that, because they're going to get accused of this and that. Now it's normal, and I love it. And so I hope that, for fans, I hope that we realize these things are normal, that just because they're saying to each other "I love you" doesn't mean that they have a relationship, or that they're spending time together in private doesn't mean they are in a relationship. And if they are, it's still none of our business. Okay, more men should be able to say "I love you" more. Exactly. I agree. I agree. I really love what Zayn is actually doing. That there he's just saying it so casually. I hope more people do that. Please don't use search engines to look for rumors. That just drives up the algorithm. That is true. Please do not use Google. when you're searching for those things, because Google is just going to associate those names to the names of BTS members. There have been several scandals with BTS members, right? And a- a- and whenever you search for those, it does the same thing. It's just associating those people's name to the BTS members. And so my advice is, if there's anything you want to clarify, go to our Patreon community first. Ask there, because then that's a contained environment. And at least it's going to be limited, right? The people that will be talking about it will be limited, and it's a encrypted conversation. So supposedly Google isn't putting that in their algorithm. Okay, so many want guys to not support toxic masculinity, but still want to push the stereotypes that toxic masculinity pushes. Okay. Yes, it is here. My brother says to his friends. Yeah, it is here. My brother says, "Oh, I love you." Yeah, they should. They really should. I mean, I think it's a healthy practice just to say it. So that when Jungkook said that to Mingok, I was like, "That's good. You know, you're able to express it. That's really really good." I hope that they do it more. Okay. I use incognito whenever I search Google. It doesn't. It's still Google will still know. They'll still know. It'll still be in their trends. We need to normalize privacy. Fairlane, for the first cases you mentioned, what I read today said that the first one they dismissed it, and the second one was being passed to prosecution. Good if they passed it to prosecution. Love your hairband. How many do you think you own? How many do I think I own? Headband? 5? Not a lot. It's only usually when somebody gives it to me. I'm not, as you know, I'm not like a heavy shopper. So I don't have a lot of stuff. A lot of the things that I have that are like nice, they're usually given. They're usually given to me. The only thing I would usually spend on would be shoes, and specifically my running shoes, because I need good running shoes to be able to like walk and run and stuff like that. So that I don't mind spending on that, but I would use that shoes until like I can't use it anymore. As you know, the last one that I had, the one that I used daily, it already had holes and I wasn't even aware it had holes. So I don't know. Something pricked my soul, and that's the only way I learned that it already had holes. So yeah. Okay. Incognito just keeps Google from associating you with the search. Yeah. It still knows. So if you want to ask, and there is no DuckDuckGo says that it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. So just go to Patreon and ask, and then at least if I have to search, at least it's just me searching and it's just one person, right? It's better to do it that way. But in general, if there's any scandal that goes out and talks about like any of the boys dating, having a relationship or whatever, the only correct response to that is, it is none of our business. True or not, it is none of our business. So don't pay attention to it. And then the other thing is that, remember, one tweet, one post of every member is worth 30, 20, 10 million. Don't pass on that brand value to somebody else. I own pants until they're worn out. Same thing. Just don't search for that crap, please. Yes, please don't. Please don't. So remember, associate the other person with the negative thing that they are doing, and concentrate on the action, not the accusation. Don't say this person is stupid. Say this person is harassing someone. This person is spreading this thing that is not true. Don't call names. You can get into trouble. That is not a legal advice. If you want legal advice, please ask a lawyer. But concentrate on the action. It is them that has to be associated with the negative thing that they are doing, not with any BTS member. Okay. The correct answer is all members are dating Lucy in the Sky. Okay. You can associate them with their dogs, like Jungkook with Bam. Or okay. Next topic. BTS has no significant scandal, so anything they do seems like a big deal. That is true. Well, yeah, anything they do is just a big deal, so that's why they're. I believe this when fans spread BTS members in alleged romances. Fans forget that Korea does not protect the LGBTQ community's privacy. Always comes first. Love and support BTS. Enjoy them. Okay, next topic. So we have three more topics to go. We can talk about the numbers. So we're gonna go through the difference, which countries are actually where members are big in BTS, and then we'll talk about CK, and then we'll just talk about some news and updates. Would Ted get a new puppy? I think he will. The only thing is that they're going to be very busy, right? I remember Jungkook talking about um, Bam. He said that he didn't realize the time commitment that he actually that a dog needs, and he's so busy. So it's great. He said that it's great that Bam doesn't have a separation anxiety, so whenever he leaves Bam in that dog center, it's okay. And also he's well taken care of. As we can see, we see the pictures of Bam. So that's a good place to leave your dog. If I'm going to leave my dog somewhere, I'd leave him there, right? Because he has playmates, he's well taken care of. He gets to burn his energy and all. So I think that's the only thing that's going to hinder him, is that realizing the time commitment it requires to actually have a dog. Okay. Um, we need a lawyer on retainer. Ophelia said, we need a lawyer on retainer. Okay. All right. So let's go to Jungkook, because there's a lot to gain in trolling and continuing the ship wars. So it's all about money. It could be, but I think it's just really a lot of people are just deranged into thinking there's a ship, their ship is real, or that this other person is destroying my ship or whatever. Right? It's just it's comical. Anyway, is that Le Seraphim? That was Le Seraphim, yeah. Let's talk about Jungkook first and then go into, or we can talk about this actually. Yeah, let's go news and updates. So Le Seraphim was actually the number one trending video on YouTube for, I think it was yesterday, because of spaghetti. Okay. Uh and so yay for that. And as we know, they are going to have a collaboration with J Hope. So it was funny on X the other day because a lot of Fear Nots, that's the fandom name of Le Seraphim, they were talking about targets, how many views they're going to target and stuff like that. And I remember one post was like 2.5 million streams on Spotify on day one. And some Fear Nots are complaining that Fear Nots were actually accidentally. Oh, I'm not live on IG. Okay, they're saying that you're unintentionally insulting J Hope with such a low target. He's like his BTS. He can go higher. Maybe that's going to that'll be the performance of his live stream if like the entirety of army is asleep or something, but not when they're awake. And so they wanted to go higher. But anyway, so Fear Not said that their target is 2 million to 2.5 million, primarily because they're the fandom of the Seraphim. So if armies want to go higher, then it will be up to armies to set that target. So I see the reason. So I kind of understand why the target was so low. But anyway, they have several versions of the CDs on the Le Seraphim US online store. So just go there. You can pre-save the albums already. But I hope, this is my hope and this is my wish, is to go 5 million, 4 million, 5 million for J Hope. I certainly wish we could go in the 20s or in the 10s for J Hope. So I think because Le Seraphim already went like 79, I think, in Crazy, and they stay there for 2 weeks. And then J Hope's highest is 40. Maybe with a combined force, we can push them higher. So I hope that we can do you saw a similar comment. It was really funny. So I hope that we can do something better, right, in the US for this too. So, as I've mentioned in the last live stream, I'm going to paste links of accounts that are funding for J Hope's release and Le Seraphim's release. And then, if you are from the US, and I guess from UK as well, so that we can target the UK charts, let's let's help. So usually, apparently, it doesn't happen this way all the time, but usually when they fund it, you can choose two things. You either get funding for a second l- streaming account, paid account, or you get funding for the sales of the CD. Okay. So if you get funding for the sales of the CD, you do need to present to them the proof of purchase. If it is a live streaming second account, sorry, not a live streaming, but a music streaming account, a paid account, it used to be that when they give you the account, there's already a playlist. But people are saying no, that not everybody gives a playlist. Some people actually have the freedom to just design their own playlist. And one of the many reasons many people don't do it anymore is that those that are getting a free account, they actually don't stream for the person that they were supposed to stream for. So, anyway, I'm going to paste the link of the people that are funding, and please approach them so that you can help for the US debut. I saw a tweet where a fear not was excited when an army asked what the goals were for spaghetti. And they were so shocked even with the engagement of the Source Music announcement of when Source Music account announced the collaboration. I think within one day it went to like 8 million, and Fear Nots were so excited about it. And beat and armies was like, come on, armies, we can do better than this. Like 8 million, come on. So it's two different kind of reactions. How far will some supporters go in defense of Jimin? If it gets to court for harassment and defamation, they will be reprimanded the right way, fined, and help to seek mental health assessment. How far will some supporters go in defense of Jimin? Who's going to be reprimanded? Have a safe drive, Bellatrix. Have a safe drive, Bellatrix. CD orders need to go in now to give them time for shipping, especially if J Hope channels is his J persona. How do funding accounts get funds? So some of them, they just use their own money. Some of them, they actually solicit online. So you can donate to them. They usually give their PayPal or whatever, and then they post a report as to where the funds go. Usually, I only recommend accounts that I truly trust or I know have been doing this in a while, because I remember there were some controversies last time. I think it was a J Hope release, I believe. It was a J Hope release as well, where someone couldn't account for the donations that she got. And so, like, that's, of course, that's a bad practice. If you're going to collect money, you do need to account for all of those things. What happened with Megan Thee Stallion and Butter to buy J Hope versions only on iTunes to boost charts? I want to try that cheesy noodles Jungkook made for Jimin. Bangalore. Okay. Army's sense of numbers is skewed. Only 2 million to 2B. Others count only 2K to reach 100. What do you mean? Okay, so I'm going to post links of accounts that you can approach for funding, and let's help. I hope we can give J Hope top 20. Okay. Okay, another news. I don't know if you know Park Bom, but she is a member of the group 21, formerly, well, not formerly, but they are under YG. And they were the first big group, or not the first big group, the first big girl group of YG. And it was just the way that group went on hiatus was kind of like it was sad the way they went on hiatus because they were negotiating for the renewal of their contract. And then some things happened between YG and the youngest member, Minzy. Minzy did not renew. So they were sad about that. But she didn't even get a farewell. And then controversies erupted about Park Bom. And then he disbanded the band. Now, after more than a decade, the four women actually reunited for a tour, and then promises were made about an album that didn't happen. And then the one of the members, Park Bom, she is the main singer, the main vocalist. She filed a case against him, against the founder of YG, Yang Yun Suk. Now, what was shocking, and she announced it online and then she deleted it. So she is suing him for 4.5 quadrillion 4.5 quadrillion US dollars. If she wins this case, she's going to be the wealthiest person on earth. Even wealthier than Elon Musk. Or Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos put together, she's still going to be wealthier. So it's 1.0003004000600346427 trillion one. That is so 4.5 quadrillion dollars is how much she is suing him for. And she said it's for financial fraud and embezzlement. So okay, so she she said that, and she said like, oh, like netizens go and investigate what Yang Yun Suk actually did to us. He didn't pay us and stuff like that. And so she already took down her post announcing the lawsuit. But of course, reporters went to her company, and I think it's P Nation, and the agency actually said, even we can't control her, but we're going to ask her what this is about. And then they just confirmed that she actually sued Yang Yun Sok for this much, and let's see what's going to happen in here. Now, one of the reasons I don't feel any sympathy for Yang Yun Sok was actually 21, because on camera, he actually called them ugly. And when that happened, the girls were very, very young, especially Minzy. She was, I think, 16 at that time. And he was like, oh, they're really ugly. I was like, and I thought it was such a, that's so, to say that to a group of girls. P Nation. Yeah, I think it's P Nation. So I thought that for him to say that for in front of the girls. And then later on, Minzy and even the leader actually talked about CL. They actually talked about how that affected them, their confidence, and like mentally and emotionally, that wasn't healthy for them to be repeatedly called that word. And so I never really had any sympathy for him because of that. So, and he never apologized. Now, he may have apologized in private. That could have happened. And that's certainly something that is up to the four women when they whether or not they're going to forgive him. But he said it in public. So he should apologize in public. And he never did. And so I thought, yeah, that's not definitely not someone that I would want my children around, or any kind of child with, right? And so that's also why I was like, and then of course he was convicted of harassment because he threatened the girl that was standing as a witness against some of the idols of YG for drug use. Drug meaning marijuana. So he sort of scared that person, and he was convicted of that. Now, that person is also janky. She's also very shady. She tried to drag one of the people that we admire. She tried to drag him into this controversy. Of course, it was like useless. But that's how, janky she is. But again, you're a 45-year-old powerful man scaring this woman. That only still shows you know, character. And so that's why I never had sympathy for him. And then and that's why I'm also not surprised with how he does marketing. That's exactly the kind of thing that that kind of a person will do. So when you set a damage that high, even the court takes the suit seriously, really. I don't know what's going to happen, whether it's going to be dismissed. Let's see. They need to still investigate and see if there's any grounds for the case to pursue. So, according to the complete, Park Bom is suing Yang Yun Suk for fraud and embezzlement, claiming that Yang Yun Suk failed to pay her 642.722 trillion won, or 58.2 million US dollars in profit that were rightfully hers. That's her claim. And so she suffered significant financial losses and mental distress as a result, which clearly constituted fraud and embezzlement. Park Bom had been touring with the group since the 21 reunion, but is currently taking a break due to mental health issues. This is true. She did not finish the tour. So I think there were several more stops that she didn't join, and it was just three girls doing it. Her agency, D Nation Entertainment, stated Park Bom will not be able to participate in 21's future schedules. We have recently received medical advice that she requires sufficient rest and stability, and after careful discussion, we have reached this unavoidable decision. She also got into legal trouble in South Korea because I think she took with her inside Korea a medication that was not allowed inside Korea. So, and she said that it was for her mental health. Okay. Okay, so that's wow, right? Another news is that Lisa actually signed to another talent agency. It's Wasserman. If you go to their, and this is an interesting development, and this is purely business. This is an interesting development because you would see a lot of the Blackpink girls signing with different agencies for different things. As you know, Jenny actually signed with the new company of the Spotify CEO. And then she has her own company, and then she has a deal with RCA. Was it RCA or something? And then she's the same thing with Lisa. So I did ask around some of my friends in the industry, why is this happening? Why are these artists starting to sign with different agencies instead of sticking it out with one label and then allowing that label to manage them? So allegedly, this is a trend that's starting to happen because um, not many artists are signing up for the 360 deals of labels because labels are unable to develop their IPs the way Korean agencies do. And so, for example, if you are a K-pop artist, you're kind of used to knowing that, okay, my agency is going to take care of brand deals. They're going to take care of merch, of syncs, of concerts, production, all of those things. What's happening is that when they sign to a US label, they realize, oh, they're not going to do all of those things, but they want a part of all of those things from me. So even if another agency sends me a brand deal, they still want a commission. So many of these Asian artists refuse to sign the 360 deals because they want to be able for all they want to take care of all of those things for their career, the IPs, concerts, brand deals, all of those things. And so many labels in the US are starting to realize we're going to lose these artists if we do not develop our capability. And if you would remember in the last live stream that I did, I talked about how Warner is starting to copy the model of Hybe. In essence, the model of Korean labels where they are offering everything. IP development, concerts, brand deals. And so they're going to be a one stop shop for an artist. But while they are doing developing their capabilities, these artists that are starting to get into the US market, they're starting to sign with different agencies. And so this Wasserman, aside from artist representation, they specialize in live events. And I guess what that's the next step for Lisa. She wants to start doing concerts, more live shows, more guestings. And then there are more agencies that are coming up that are concentrating on social media partnerships. So it's not like a brand ambassadorship where you are tied to one brand across the board. It's like, okay, you do this 6-month campaign, you're going to do 10 posts and we're going to pay you $1 million. So many agencies are becoming like that as well. So this is going to be interesting. So let's see if something is going to materialize or if they will be able to give her more break and more live shows, because it seems to be that that's what she's going for. Okay. And this is the best performing albums by a female act in 2025 in the US. Okay. So this is Billboard 200. So number one is This Is For. They sold 80,000 units. Ruby by Jenny, 56,000 units. Alter Ego, 45.5. Hot EP by Le Seraphim, 45.5 as well. Rich Man by Espa, 31. And 10, The Story Goes On, 26,000. So the goal is to get Le Seraphim in the highest range because it's a collaboration with J Hope, right? So if they can go more than 80, they'll be number one. But primarily because we want to make sure that the bankability of J Hope remains high. Okay. To be with multiple labels makes sense if the main one doesn't have any connection in the field you want to go in. For instance, this big hit have connections in acting. Yeah, that's a good point. So that's exactly what they're doing, and that's exactly what these labels are trying to do. They want to develop their ability, their skill to develop the same things that Korean agencies are trying to do. Um, is she not on any ADHD medication in that case? She is, and that's what she was saying. I'm assuming that you're talking about Park Bomb, the medication that she brought in Korea. She said that it was actually a prescription from a doctor, but that's the doctor was based in the US or something like that. Or what she actually said is that what the police said is that it is a prescription, but it's a medication not allowed in Korea. It's allowed in other countries, but it's not allowed in Korea. And as you know, they're very strict with Koreans. Even if you do the crime somewhere else, when you come back or wherever you are, you can still be sued. For example, gambling is not allowed, right? So usually when you gamble, for example, in in Vegas, that's supposed to be okay because you're not in Korea, but to them it's not. Because you're a Korean citizen, you're supposed to uphold their laws and regulations wherever you are. Okay. All right. So going back into this is the goal for us to be able to make it big for Le Seraphim so that they go to number one. Right? That's 80,000. That's a lot, but it's J Hope. So I hope that we can do that. I have faith in Army will deliver for Spaghetti. I hope so. And it seems to be like a really fun album. I mean, for Common Over, they and Crazy, they kind of sort of started that already, moving into like more fun kind of genre. And I think it's because also of where they are right now mentally. As we know, I don't know if you know this already, but Le Seraphim is actually starting to get more creative control over their own projects. So in the last one that they had, Yoonjin actually openly spoke about her setting the direction for that album. So she talked about like this was my vision for the album. She was saying that like this was my vision for the album. This is the tonality that I wanted. And it was a sign that she had more say in where the direction was. And so I'm assuming that this is the not an exception, that they also have more creative control. But more than anything, because I am an army before I'm a fear not, I wanted to perform well because J Hope is in it, right? So I know that there are some people that, anyway, so the haters, they will always hate. At the end of the day, a BTS member is there, let's support it. Okay. Next next, oh, that's it. That's for my news and updates. Do you have questions? She can take medications in Korea, but she is mostly here in the US. Let me do something. 1 second. I'm going to replace something so that I don't hang. Okay, next is Jungkook. Do you have questions before I move to Jungkook? Do you have time? Yes, we have a lot of time. Ritalin, where is Debak? Did he not want to say hi today? He's looking at me. When he's on the moon, he's gonna come here and he's gonna say hi. He's looking at me, but he's not moving. Okay, so let's talk about Jungkook. Do you think Hobie will perform with them in music shows? So Yoon Jin was hinting on having a special guest in Japan in their comeback. They're not comeback, but their encore in Japan. They have an encore concert there, Tokyo Dome, I think. And she hinted on having a special guest. Initially, I thought it was maybe, yeah, it was Sobi, but it could be J Hope. Okay, next. So let me hide you. Do you want to do Jungkook or the charts first? Jungkook or charts? Oh, I figured out why the song is called Spaghetti is like Fairy Lane said word association since Hope has a song called Chicken Noodle Soup. Now they call it Spaghetti, their encore. Yeah, they have an encore concert in Japan. Your posts are not posting. I still believe they're going after Espa. Who? Oh, you're back? Okay. Hi, Bang Luna. JK? JK. JK. Let's do JK. So this was just something interesting because in their campaign, they specifically stated campaign collection. And that was the first time I've heard of this terminology for quite honestly, because it's not usually called that. When there is a collection that is going to be released and is associated to a celebrity, it's called a capsule collection. So when they called it campaign collection, I was like, what the hell is that? Anyway, when he was announced that when the campaign was announced, there was an uptick in shares, so 82, and I think they ended the day with 86 at some point, and then it's back down to 84 something. But he definitely had a positive, or at least this campaign had a positive effect on their share. So congratulations to Calvin Klein. Okay. So campaign collection is not a commonly used term in advertising or in marketing or in fashion sales. Not usually. As I've said, if there is a collection being released in association with a celebrity, it's usually called a capsule collection. So this was, I had to call some people. I don't know anybody who's working directly advertising, meaning my friends in advertising, but I don't know anybody who directly works with CK, unfortunately. I know someone who knows someone, and so they kind of asked for an explanation. So I'm going to give you this. So they said that they can't give it away because it's going to violate the point of the entire campaign. But it's one of these two things. And remember, so this is, I guess, third hand information for you, right? Fourth hand information for you. It's third hand for me. So so it's one of two things. One is that Jungkook is going to be the face of CK's global campaign for the next year or so. So usually CK's face, the face for the global campaign, is very much geared towards the West because majority of their market is still the US and the UK. And so it's a very unique situation for them if they use Jungkook as a global ambassador, meaning he's just going to be the face of the campaign globally. Okay. Now, that's one that they have a collection for the next 2 to 3 years, and he's going to be the face of that campaign. Next is that the other option is that they built the or a campaign around Jungkook, specifically for Jungkook, almost like Jungkook's brand fusing with CK brand. So it's one of those two things. It's either whatever campaign they have for the next 2 to 3 years, it's going to be Jungkook that is going to be the face of it, or that they created specifically a collection for Jungkook using Jungkook's brand. This they are going to launch a long-term campaign. Okay, is it going to be underwear? Let's see. So a capsule collection is something like what Jenny had for CK, and we probably know this because Jungkook attended the launch of the capsule collection. So A capsule collection is typically a limited edition line, and it's usually small number of items, and they usually utilizes the scars not usually, but they utilize the scarcity trick. So they want people to buy, thinking that it's going to be limited and they're not going to release it again or whatever. Usually, what happens is that they wait a while, they release it again, but they don't attach it to the brand ambassador anymore. Okay, so that's what a capsule collection is. It's not even tactical, it's just one off. So it's usually just when like, oh, let's try how much influence this celebrity is going to have. And if it works, if it really sells, then probably we're going to do something more special. If it doesn't happen again, that's an indication. Okay, so this when a capsule collection is not usually a part of the brand's official campaign. It's a one off, as I've said. Usually, when they want to test how much the influence is of this celebrity, then they will do it. Now, if they know if that celebrity proves that they have a lot of influence and that they can actually move the sales, usually you'll get more projects and more partnerships between those two. Now, strategic campaign, which is similar to what they're doing, um, we need to keep Fairlane sources happy. Anybody up to donating a schmoozing funder to keep her. Okay, so what they are doing now with Jungkook is more strategic, meaning it's long term. It's more about what are we trying to achieve in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then you're putting milestones in order to get to that long term goal. So it contributes to the identity of the brand, emotional connection, and the brand promise, and the brand positioning, and all of those stuff. Meaning, this is not some sort of a test that they are doing with Jungkook. This is a long term thing that they have planned in advance and they are not rolling out. Okay, JK is the sold out king. I mean, he sold out a laundry detergent. What else can he not sell out, right? So, a tactical campaign is usually short term. So think of it as like, what can we do to boost the sales now? That's a tactical campaign, right? Let's do a promo. Let's do discounted items. Let's bundle things together. That's tactical. But the capsule collection is a one off. It's not even a tactical campaign. Now, the campaign collection is a long term plan. As I've said, it contributes to whatever it is that CK is trying to do. And CK participating in the Fashion Week is also a signal as to where they want to go as a brand. They want to shake off the image of being an underwear brand. They want something more. And they are using Jungkook to spearhead this phase in their transition. Not that they haven't been making jeans and shirts and jackets. It's just that they still are known primarily as a underwear brand, and they want to expand their brand better and make their mark outside of that better. Okay. So for YCK, so this is going to my brokest bro. How did Jenny do? They didn't do it again. So as a sign, I'll tell you about it in the members only live stream. Okay, so for Calvin Klein, why Jungkook? Why of all celebrities are they tapping Jungkook to do it? And it's all about Jungkook's brand, and this you really have to admire the way Jungkook shaped his brand or is shaping his brand. So, as you know, when a brand sets a vision, and actually people should do this too with your career, set up a vision. And the vision is the destination. What kind of world do you want to see when you are done? The mission is how you're going to get to that destination, right? So, that's why a lot of people, when you do this exercise, a lot of people are going to tell you, like branding experts are going to tell you, your vision has to be short because you're supposed to be able to say it in one breath. If you can't, then that's a failed vision because it's not concrete. So it's the destination, mission is the journey. So for one of the visions that I really love is Coca-Cola. Their old vision is a Coke within arm's reach of desire. Isn't that so clear? They actually revised this, a Coke's within arm's reach of everyone in the world. So that's more concrete for you. Their vision is that Coke becomes so common that when you want one, it's within your arm's reach. Something like that. They changed it, which doesn't make sense to me anymore. Craft the brand and choice of drinks that people love to refresh them in body and spirit. It's like, lame. Okay. Here's one vision. Try to guess who this is, who's what brand this is. A world where everyone is an athlete. I mean, it's so easy. They just need to hire a designer and tell them what kinds of clothes they want to sell. They would make more money than an ambassador. It was at their level with connection they have, they can most definitely launch their own brand. You don't like Coke or Pepsi. I also don't drink them, but I like their vision though. So can you guess which this is? A world where everyone is an athlete. Guess the brand. The second one, which probably is easier, Nike. Correct. It's Nike. Second is correct. It's Nike. Second is provide access to the world's information within one click. Provide, correct. It's Nike. Provide access to the world's information within one click. This is so easy. There's only one company that can actually do this. Provide access. Well, I guess not anymore. Provide access to the world's information within one click. Two is Google. Correct. Google. Correct. Google is number two. Number three, to be Earth's most customer centric company. To be Earth's most customer centric company. Google. Number three. Google is number two, yeah. To be Earth's most customer centric company for number three. I'm sure you'll tell it. Number three. Give me number three. Amazon. Yes, it's Amazon. That's their vision. So you see, it's so clear, right? You can really see the vision of the company. Okay. So um now this is actually my favorite. It's Northern Line. It's not a very popular brand, but it's a ship. They make ships. I really love it. It's we shall build good ships here. That's his vision. At a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good ships. And I thought that was like it's a mantra, it's a vision because you know what they're trying to do. They want every ship out of their company to be quality ships. And I just love how they crafted it because they're saying that it's always the primary thing that we're going to be upholding quality ships. Okay. Now, best mission statement to build the web's most convenient, secure, cost effective payment solution. Big fat lie. Okay. Guess the company. This is their vision. Their mission. To build the web's most convenient, secure, cost effective payment solution. This is their mission. Guess the brand. And then the second mission is to get to PayPal. You see, they have a strong brand. PayPal, yeah. And then to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. I wouldn't be surprised if you confuse it with something else, but that is the mission of this company to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly. I use PayPal a lot. Yeah. Alipay, PayPal. So the last one is to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and the information instantly without barriers. What's that? Did you even think that when you were X aka Twitter? True. It is Twitter. Twitter. So did you think that when you joined my live you were going to be tested? Okay. So yes, it's Twitter. It's Twitter. I was expecting that people will be confusing it with Facebook, but good. It's Twitter. Okay. So Jungkook is kind of the same when he has a very clear vision of his brand, of what he wants to do for his career. Actually, he has a very clear vision. And I don't know if he went through the same branding exercise. But remember that interview when he said that he wants to become the first singer to cross over different genres in different languages. He wanted to do K-pop, he wanted to do Western pop, Latin, classic, he wanted to do opera, theater someday. And that is a very clear vision. And a lot of people don't appreciate that about Jungkook. But if you come and think about it, of all the seven members, he was the one who was able to pinpoint exactly the end game that he wants. Right? He knows. He said, I want to be the first singer that will cross over different genres, singing different languages. You can't be any more clear than that. And that's a very, very strong vision. And so when you see this brand, that's what he wants you to know, that he is the type of singer that can do any kind of genre and can sing in any language. Okay. So what, and this now, why are they a perfect pair, CK and Jungkook? Because they are so similar in their identity. So look at the identity of CK, a world of elegant with minimalist designs and timeless silhouettes. So that's what they want: elegant, minimalist, timeless. If you listen to Jungkook's music, it's the same thing. It's elegant, no frills, right? Timeless and minimalist music. So if you listen, it's simple. You know what you're getting. It's very clean to the ears. There's not like 5,000 layers of instruments. You can clearly hear his voice. The messaging is simple. It's so streamlined. It's elegant. It's timeless. It's minimalist. The identity the identities of the two are very, very similar. Okay. So next, our Macne has a very clear vision and incredible. He does, yeah. Okay, and then for the brand promise, what CK promises to the world is highest level of quality with no frills. So they want it simple. You want an underwear, you're going to get an underwear, but it is a quality underwear. You want pants, we're going to give you the best type of pants for your money with no frills. You're not going to see 5,000 different Swarovski crystals in that pants, but it's going to do the job and it's going to look great and it's going to be elegant. It's going to be timeless. There's going to be 5,000 trends that will come and pass, but this jeans will remain at the end of that road. Okay. And if you listen to the music of Jungkook, it's the same. If you listen to his whole album, it's not trend bound. It's not, he's not using any kind of like short term trendy tactic like the TikTok super short intro and stuff like that. He provides the highest quality of music with no frills. Again, perfect combination. Why Jungkook chose CK for him? Okay. It's because they are a perfect pair. Now, the proposition, this is what they are actually physically offering: elegant quality for everybody. That's what CK promises. You buy a CK, it's quality, it's elegant, and it's for you. For you. Okay. And Jungkook's music promises the same. It's elegant quality and it's going to be for everybody. That's why he said he wanted specifically to sing about love, because that is something that the whole world understands and resonates with everybody. It's quality, it's elegant, it's timeless, and it's for everybody. Such a perfect pair. So don't ever think, a lot of people are complaining why Jungkook is not doing luxury brands and stuff like that. And I kind of understand. When he did a live stream after the CK after party and he explained that he actually talked about the Fashion Week experience and he said that, oh, it's not for him. He's not saying that it's not a great experience. He's just saying that it's not for him, that those after parties, that's not his personality. He is a simple guy, but he delivers quality. Again, perfect pair for CK. And that, I think, is also the reason he opted. As you know, a lot of people already testified, including his own bandmate Jin, that they are getting a lot of offers from different brands. It's just that other members of BTS, and of course that includes Jungkook, keeps on saying no. It's because they want the perfect pair, the perfect brand for him. So Calvin Klein promises the highest quality of what you need that is timeless. And when it comes to music, Jungkook provides the highest quality of music for you that is not trend bound. So it's the same. That's why it resonates so well with the market of CK. CK is not concerned with being known as the most expensive brand and the most luxurious. They don't want that. They don't care about that. So they don't usually play on the pricing battle. So if somebody pulls their price lower, they don't really care about that. Because for them it's all about quality. So the cheapest they can provide, the type of quality that they provide, they'll go for that. And they aim to provide something of quality to everybody. So thankfully they can afford to be picky. Correct. And also, the same way, Jungkook is not the kind that put on elaborate costumes or count on production design for his performances. If you look at his music videos and if you listen to his music, it's not gimmicky, right? It's so simple. It's very, very simple. You know what you're getting, but you also know that you're getting the best voice, the best performance, the best tonality. So he sort of gets rid of the things that you don't really need and just keep it simple. The basics, basically. He wants to give everyone his best performance, regardless of your social economic class. And that's why they are a perfect pair. Okay. So, yes, please like the video. Jungkook is the brand and products will have to fit him, not the other way around. And I think that's how he is building his brand. That's why he's not going around signing deals with 5,000 different brands because he wants to keep it simple and very elegant. I do think that at some point he is going to um, launch his own products. He'll hop on that hook and fly at the, the last chance. In other words, it's not a statement piece, but a quality piece that can be worn through the ages. Yeah. I remember there was this guy who went to a pawn shop. He had a Rolex. And it was one of the earliest releases of Rolex. And he said that it was given to him by his father. He's never really worn it because his father died already and he sort of feels sentimental about it and he's thinking of selling it. He's never worn the piece. And there's nothing special about it because he's not, well, of course, Rolex in itself is special, but it wasn't like a special release or something. It was one of their standard releases. But because it was one of the earliest ones and it was like really, really nice, they said that if you take this to an auction, he'll probably sell it for about 1.5 to 3 million. So anyway, that's the goal of CK. It's not like anything special, right? Not like it's very simple. The silhouette is very basic, but it's the same thing for JK. He doesn't care about like big fireworks or whatever, because at the core of it, what you're looking for when you go to his concert is his quality performance, and that's what he's going to deliver. So you have to appreciate how he's very careful about his brand. A lot of people are demanding, why isn't he signing with 5,000 different brands? Well, this is the reason, because he wants to take care of his brand. Given that he doesn't need the money, why do it? Like, he probably has businesses. I mean, one of the things that we've learned from the investment of RM in this AI platform is that they know what to invest in. They don't always make it public, but they know what to invest in. We know that Suga actually joined a private investment company so that he can be a part owner of that team. So they're probably investing their money the right way. I need me a Rolex. So do I. Okay. And CK does black really well. JK is different. All other BTS members give us a house tour, but when JK did it, all we saw was his face walking around. JK always, well, he showed us some, right? So, okay. No, it's because Hybe won't let him. Oh my gosh. Fairlane, I have a question. Did you terminate their ambassadorship with Samsung? the mere fact that RM is using an iPhone means the contract is not in place yet. Once it changes back to Samsung, then we'll know that it is on again. Let's see. Let's see. It seems to be that. Otherwise, they will not be. They will not allow themselves to be seen using a Samsung. Fans need to stop trying to dictate what the guy should do. Each is different in personality and interest. They aren't carbon copies. Not just that. It's not just about that, but also like a lot of these fans just insist that the boys believe in the same thing that they believe in, that the values of the boys are the same as their values, when it's not. You're they're seven different people with seven different priorities, and so so are we. We're different people than they are, so there's a lot of things that they're going to do that we will not agree with, a lot of things that they will believe in that we will not believe in, and that's okay. That's just how it is. So okay. Um, I had gin ramen today. All right. We want to get into the numbers. Do you have questions? BTS Jungkook has officially registered his logo in 8 countries. So a collaboration with Calvin Klein in your country, maybe. Okay, Minggu and Chaun Wo were also ambassadors for CK. JK, his friends are like-minded. Okay, I don't care what they use. Samsung is the one for better video and pictures. I heard that. So a friend of mine had this uh, flip phone, and he can zoom like 37 times, something like that. I can zoom 10. My iPhone zooms 10 times. And it was like 30. So it's a lot. Because like the other person was in the other building and he was able to zoom in. So he was like, this is great for concert. And so I was like, wow. Anyway, it seems silly for Samsung not to have a deal with BTS. What other topics are there after the numbers so we can get to it all? This is the last one for today, the numbers. So, okay. So, what I did, anything that I'm going to be showing to you, you can verify this yourself by going to Kworb. Okay, I will show you how to do it. Just so you know, you can verify it yourself. Okay. So if you go, for example, can you see it? Okay. So for example, if you go to Kworb, you will be able to see a song. For example, this one is Butter, and you will be able to see the number of streams per countries on a week by week basis. You can also do daily. Okay, but it's like I should go weekly. And then you can check the positions, like this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and the streams. You can also do both, the position and the number of streams. I just do streams. Okay, so that's how you do it, right? So you can see, like for Butter, it is the country that streams it the most is Japan, and then US, and then India, Philippines, Indonesia, Mexico, Vietnam. So that's how you check all of these things. Now, of course, it changes. So some of the things that you are going to see, if you verify it in keyword later, it might be different because it moves, right? So, okay. Now, but you can check it there. Now, if you want to see, for example, what are the countries in general, where is BTS mostly streamed? Does that make sense? What country, where is BTS mostly streamed? You click on their name, and then you can see global, Japan, Philippines, US, Indonesia, India, Vietnam, Brazil, Thailand, Mexico. So you can check it that way. Okay. So the order by which the country appears is the ranking in streaming. Okay. So you can check it yourself so that you know that I'm not like pulling this out of somewhere. Okay. Where am I? There you go. Catch you all the next live stream. Hasta luego. Bye bye, Lorena. Okay, so for this, I pulled the best performing songs of the boys, including BTS, and I checked specifically for the US. This is just the first part. I wanted to know which of the members are getting more most streamed in the US because that's where I am. So Butter, so the first one, this the first column is Butter, second column is Seven, Who, Don't Say You Love Me, Hegum, Never Play, and LB Bag. If it's not here, if the member is not here, they don't have anything that tracks in the US. Does that make sense? Okay. So V is not here. So because there's just nothing that's tracking in the US. Okay, so for the US, the one that's getting the most streamed, if you look at the week by week streams, it's actually Who. If you look at the second week, you see that second week, Who got 13 million. And then Seven got 7 million on second week. And then Butter got 6.2 million. And then same thing for week 3. Who got 13 million, Seven got 5 million, and then Butter got 5 million. So the best performing one in the US week by week is actually Who. And then for so and then you have Don't Say You Love Me as well. So it's Who, and then Seven, and then Butter, Never Play, LV Bag, Don't Say You Love Me, and then Hegum. Okay, so those are the best performing ones in the US by song. Okay, by song. Now I also tracked per member where I are they streamed the most. So for BTS, it's Japan, Philippines, the US, Indonesia, Vietnam, Brazil, Thailand, Mexico, Malaysia, Singapore, Peru, Canada, Taiwan, Korea, Germany, Australia, Great Britain, and then a lot of European countries. But they are most streamed in Japan. Now, what actually surprised me is that South Korea is not in the top 20 when they are from South Korea. It's actually not in the top 25. But this is just Spotify. Now, it's a good indicator because it is the biggest, they have the biggest market share. Um whenever I watch you live, it reminds me to stream. Yeah. Okay. So but they are, it's good news that they, as you can see, the third country who streamed them the most is US, which is good. um Dang, now I want ramen. I try to keep one per week. I love my ramen bade too. Okay, so this is good. It's just, and I think one of the reasons um US is not higher is simply because they haven't done anything that active in a while. But I think when they come back, US is actually going to overtake. And then the UK, France, sorry, not just the UK, but Europe, Great Britain, France, Italy, Spain, Russia, that is going, Germany, all of those will move up. SK doesn't use Spotify that much. Isn't it? Didn't it already become number 3, I think? Number 14. Yeah, number 14. Sorry, not in the top 10 is what I meant. So, but are they number 3 after YouTube, Melon, and then Spotify in South Korea? Okay. So, but anyway, um, it's good that they are actually, that US is high up there. And I think they're going to move higher once they release something. Okay. Now, Jin, what I meant is, Korea is this. What I meant is not. It's not in the top 10. Not in the top 25. Okay, for Jin, Thailand is the country that's streaming them the most, and then Japan, Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, Korea, Taiwan, Brazil, Hong Kong, Vietnam, UAE, Mexico, Malaysia, Peru, and Argentina. Okay, so primarily Asia, and then you have some like Spanish speaking countries, Argentina, Mexico. So good, but we do need to improve in the US for Jen, and also for the UK. Okay, because we're not even in the top 15. I'm talking about the US. We need to improve. But But consistent Thailand and Indonesia, huh? Okay. So that's for Jin. And then for August D, Suga, and this is combined because his profile is actually separated. I would have thought Japan would be Jin's number 11. Oh, number one. Okay, so for August D, it's Thailand first, Vietnam, Korea, Indonesia, Brazil, US. Yay. We are in the top 10. Philippines, Peru, Venezuela, Malaysia, Mexico, Singapore, India, Taiwan, and Colombia. But very, very happy that the US is actually in his top 10. Let's keep it up and let's keep on streaming his songs. Okay. I'm happy about that. And we have US has to do better for Jin. Okay. August D. So as I've said, combine August D and Suga. Now for J Hope. Thailand, Brazil, Vietnam, US. I'm going to explain something there. Peru, Korea, Argentina, Mexico, Vietnam, Colombia, Philippines, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, and Bolivia. Now, I'm very happy that US is actually in his top 5, but we do need to stream his other songs as well. Because the US went to number 4 because of his collaboration. Two collaborations. One is LV Bag, and then the other one is Mona Lisa. We need to stream the other songs as well. So if you take away those two, they won't even be. We shouldn't because that's his song, obviously. But I'm just saying that we need to get stream more songs. Why the asterisk? That's what I was explaining. Because this is carried by the two collaborations that he had. One is LV Bag, and then the other is Mona Lisa. Okay. My sister loves J Hope and she does not listen to K-pop. Okay, next. I'm going by age, as you can see. RM. There is also an asterisk in the US. I'm going to explain why. Thailand, Vietnam, third is the US, but I'm happy that at the very least we are in top 5. And then we have Brazil, Indonesia, Peru, Korea, Vietnam, Mexico, Philippines, Malaysia, Paraguay, Pakistan, Singapore, and India. Okay. Um, uh, for US, oh, sorry, Sweet Dreams. Sorry. Sorry. For J Hope, it is Sweet Dreams, not Mona Lisa. Sweet Dreams. So it was carried by Sweet Dreams and LV Bag. LV Bag is a little higher, meaning the weight that LV Bag carried is actually higher than Sweet Dreams. But both are collaborations. For RM, this was carried by Never Play with Megan Thee Stallion. I'm so happy, of course, that we are in his top 10 and we shouldn't stop it, but we should perhaps like stream other songs as well. Okay. So but we should keep Never Play so that at least US is in his top 5. For Jimin, he is a different beast. So US, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, Brazil, Philippines, Peru, Mexico, Singapore, Taiwan, Belarus, Great Britain, Germany. And then the next 5 were all European countries for him. So Germany, and I think there was Poland, Italy, Spain, France. It was like, what the hell is happening with you? But he's the only member where US is number 1. And also his songs are well distributed. So if you look at like Crazy, like it's actually tracking well. Be Mine is also tracking well in the US. Smeralda Garden Marching Band was tracking well. There's one more for from the Face album that's also tracking well. So for him it's more like evened out. um Come on, Canada, you're gonna appear in a bit. Yeah, Russia, he's also, yeah. So the next 5 for Jimin, they're all Europe, and that's Russia as well. Yes. Okay. For V, Thailand, Taiwan, Vietnam, Philippines, Korea, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Paraguay, Malaysia, Morocco, Singapore, Saudi Arabia, Belarus, and India. Okay, Saudi Arabia has real potential because they are becoming more open. So that has a real potential. I think that they have to tap that. As we know, there was a huge demand for the US there. They actually had a concert there. But okay, so that's for V. My non-K-pop fans only listen to Jimin's songs here in the US. Yeah, Be Mine is actually out streaming like crazy now in the US if you look at the charts. Um V has a, yeah, he is, so there's a lot of, yeah, he's well distributed. I want choreography for Be Mine. Okay, there you go, Canada. All right. So for Jungkook, it's Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Japan, Indonesia, US, Korea, India, Brazil, Mexico, Singapore, Peru, Taiwan, and Canada. And then I think he has Germany next. Germany. There was one more European country in the top 20. Um, Mexico is not streaming V. Well, you may be, let me see here if I can pull it up. So you may be streaming some songs. Um, let's see. So this is for, oh, you are here. So this is V's Love Me Again. If you can see here, there's Thailand, Vietnam, Taiwan, Japan, Philippines. Somewhere there is Mexico. There you go, Mexico. After UAE. UAE is United Arab Emirates. So India, Venezuela, UAE, Mexico, Pakistan, Kazakhstan. So I guess you're streaming Love Me Again. So there you go for them, and then let's go to other ones. Okay, so that's for V. That's for Jungkook. At least you have Canada there. Next is, this is, so when one of the things that you need to look at for you to know just how much paid views a a music video is getting is to look at this chart in KWorb. So pay attention to Baby Monster at number 3. We go up, exclusive music videos. That's 5 million streams in a day. 5 million streams in a day. And look at their likes, 6,500. So that's a lot of paid views. So there, and there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that Baby Monster is doing something wrong. I mean, it's promotions, right? That's, you need to promote. I mean, for YG, they do need to promote Baby Monster, and they're doing it by boosting the video. But that is one way for you to gauge whether or not this is paid. Now, look at Hearts to Hearts, 4,019,000 likes. That's way better. Way better than 5 million and 6,000 likes. And then the other one is TXT, 2 million views in a day, but they got 13,000 likes. Now that's organic. Okay. So you can look at this, like if you want to see, okay, let's see how much is it really, or how many views are this videos getting from paid efforts. And you'll see it here, if the ratio between the likes and the views don't make sense, they're paying for views. I mean, boosting it, they're putting ads. Okay, now for Les Seraphim, this is their top 15. Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, Korea, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Hong Kong. Number 10 is the US. I'm happy. Canada, number 11. Huh? Okay. And then Vietnam, Peru, Saudi Arabia, and Chile. Meow has no likes. No likes. No likes in the last 24 hours. Okay. By the way, the trick that YG is actually using for Baby Monster, that's the same trick that they used for Blackpink. So it's not really a surprising thing. Okay, that's Le Seraphim, Stray Kids, Japan, Indonesia, US, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, Russia, Korea, UAE, Philippines, Germany, Belarus, Thailand, Kazakhstan, and Poland. Canada likes Le Seraphim, apparently. Yeah, they do. So, and the US too. Okay, so congratulations for Stray Kids. US is also in their top five. Next for twice, this is surprising. Japan, Philippines, US. Number three. Indonesia, Taiwan. I'm saying this is a surprise because a lot of people, as you know, insulted them for not having any kind of Western appeal. And look at that. US is their number three. Indonesia, Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Canada, Australia, Great Britain, and it is on asterisk. I'll explain in a bit. Hong Kong, Korea, Vietnam, Peru, and Chile. In Great Britain, only one song is carrying them, Strategy. So that's why I did an asterisk. So, but the others they're well distributed. But in Great Britain, Strategy is carrying them, like it's really carrying the entire. Now for Blackpink, Philippines, Indonesia, U.S., Malaysia, Singapore, India, Brazil, Japan, Taiwan, Mexico, Vietnam, Hong Kong, Canada, Germany. There is no asterisk in the U.S primarily because they have so many US collaborations. It's well distributed across their US collaborations. So their collaboration with Dua Lipa, um, Selena, there's one more. Lady Gaga was that? There's one more collaboration. That's actually the one that's carrying them. Their Western collaborations, but because they had so much, it looks well distributed. I guess we like the girl groups more here. Where's here? Where are you? Okay, so that's why it had no asterisk. Okay. But for if yeah, okay. So I'll it also surprised that number 6 is US. So Japan is number 1, understandable. Their aesthetics is very Japanese. Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, Korea, US, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Canada, Australia, Chile, Peru, and Saudi Arabia. They have a lot of North Korean fans. I mean, no, North Korean, not North Korean, North American fans. US and Canada, they should definitely come here. You're Canadian. Ah, okay. You're Canadian. Blackpink, I'm not impressed much lately. so so they definitely need to come here. There's a lot of streams from the US and Canada. Um okay. Next, Evie is leaving staying she's leaving Twitch but staying in YouTube. 17, Japan, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, US, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Canada, Australia, Chile, Peru, and Saudi Arabia. Islet needs to do some more festivals next summer. I agree. Some more festivals will definitely help them. So that's for that's for 17. For TXT, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Japan, Thailand, Singapore, Taiwan, Korea, US, Brazil, Vietnam, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, Russia, and there you go, Canada. I think the mere fact definitely being with Hybe is helping this groups because you see there's a lot of US in them. For ESPA, Japan, Indonesia, Thailand, Taiwan, Korea, this is very Asia heavy. Singapore, Philippines, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Kazakhstan, Canada, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Bulgaria. Okay, so that's for ESPA. Now we go Baby Monster. Indonesia, Taiwan, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea, Philippines, Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, Kazakhstan, UAE, and Belarus. So also Asia heavy. Islet are starting to appeal to the masses. The 2024 bad juju really held back their growth. I think that's the same thing for Le Seraphim too. But they're over it now. So I think they're going to, if you don't destroy a person, you're just going to make them invincible. And hypen, number one, Philippines. Hello. Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, Hong Kong, Kazakhstan, Russia, UAE, Saudi Arabia. At least we're number 15, US. So, Lucy in the Sky, ESPA has screwed themselves in the US. I believe so. Okay. So that's for N-hypen. And I think this is okay, that was my last one. I can generate more if you ask me to, but those are just the ones that came into my head. So, of all, I think it's very interesting for BTS, right? Because there's such a varied response in their solo work, and there's such a variation in what countries are actually listening to them. Although there are some common ones, like Thailand is very common, Indonesia, Taiwan, and Vietnam, and the Philippines. But then the others are like, for Jungkook, you have Canada, you have the US, Mexico. That those are good signs. And then for Jimin, you have US, Germany, Great Britain. I mean, I was really surprised with Jimin's. Although I shouldn't be. I don't know why I keep on getting surprised. And then we just need to do better for the others. Like for RM, it's so heavy with Never Play. And then J Hope, it was so heavy for Sweet Dreams, and for especially for LV Bag, so heavy on that. So we just need to distribute our streaming a lot. But very happy for Augusty. For Augusty and for Suga, it's equal. I thought it was going to be carried by Juice World, his collaboration with Juice World, but nope. It's just well distributed in the US. Okay, you have questions. What about the whole group here? BTS. So for them, US is number three, Japan, Philippines, and then US. But then you also, in the 20 top 20, Europe is heavy. You have Italy, Spain, Russia. Is Chile? Where is Chile? Russia, Poland, Great Britain, France, and then you have down under in Australia. So I think, and then you have Canada. So I think in the North America, that justifies, if you would remember, there's a statistic, a chart that I showed you where it tracks where their views are coming from in the US, and also where their searches are coming from the US. And it's primarily, if you put together Canada and the US, it's going to outscore the others. And that this actually explains it. It's pretty South America. Okay. So, I think that these are good signs. I think when they make a comeback, I'm sure that even the solos are going to help in streaming, because it's still going to spill over to their loved ones, so to their favorites. So that's a good sign. Okay. Um I will not have a live stream, members only live stream. It's my rest day on Friday. So my next one will be next Monday, I guess. And so I will see you then. But I might do a surprise live stream. So there was somebody, can't quite remember her name, who sort of suggested that I do a calendar, so you know exactly when I'm going to do my live stream. I'll do that. And like if there's any like schedules of the videos and stuff like that, I will do that. I think that's a good suggestion, because I put out a lot of content. And then also, I might, even though I don't have a scheduled live stream, I might do some reactions, because I'm going to start watching some content. And I'm just going to probably just turn it on so that I can, and then we can just, if you want, you can watch with me, and we can, we can just react to it together. I'll announce it, and I'll make like something, so that when I do like a notification of sorts, so when I do something, you guys know about it. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. I'm so grateful that you guys join me. I apologize, but my dog is just really lazy, doesn't want to say hi. Okay. Thank you. Do you want to say hi? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, she's going to say hi before we say goodbye. Okay. Bye, everybody. You say bye. Say bye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Bye. Bye bye. Love you. Say bye bye. Love you. Bye bye. Or say hi to you. Say bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.